Are RPGs mogging every other genre in existence? The short answer is yes. They just do. I didn't make the rules. The video's over. Goodbye. Have a good rest of you. And a part of the reason why is because games have simply become too fast-paced, too grindy. They feel like another job, like you come home from school or work and you just want to like watch a story unfold or be a part of another universe, which in my opinion seems to be far more preferable, which sadly a lot of games have turned into that. You can't really have certain experiences of that when you're playing games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, or some, I mean, and those aren't bad games. I mean, I don't know about COD though. Oh, Fortnite's pretty fun though. I like Fortnite. Games feel too grindy, and RPGs are kind of act as like the real escape, like the real type of genre. We want to have fun, we want to be challenged, but at the same time, as gamers, we still want to enjoy the damn game. The first reason why RPGs tend to just mog every like genre in existence is the exploration and curiosity rewarding mechanisms that are inherent to role-playing games. When's the last time that you put your minds on like the back burner and kind of like that receptive learning process unfold and actually enjoyed something? Like, for example, when I was in Deus Ex, playing Deus Ex, I was randomly messing around like these vents and stumbled upon like this underground secret passageway and a trail of garbage leading up to a man crying next to a large metal door. That like if I helped this guy, I'd like randomly discovered this cult where this guy would like exploit a bunch of like emotionally vulnerable people. Same story. I highly recommend that game. Anyways, you don't find that in non-RPGs. I mean, not saying that you can't. No game tends to do that better. But come on now, name a genre that does that better. I feel like in most open world games, especially role-play games, most of these games' richness leaves only to grow with curiosity of the player and kind of creates like a truly living world insofar as you're willing to explore the potential for the world to be alive through exploration. I don't know if that makes sense. This is gonna be like kind of a weird ramble about this. Anyways, and you'll notice that the game, through this way of developing the player, feels like a living, breathing entity and changes like as you do. Your decisions obviously are definitely going to weigh out in the end and change how the game looks and feels over time. Very dynamic worlds. I wish like more games just in general did this thing. But I mean, AI is not really real. It's not like a real person or anything, but you know, it makes you feel alive. And I guess that's the goal, making like more dynamic scenes. As a person who enjoys like cinema, this is something that I really, really wish more genres in general did. So like discovering items or loot in like strange places that you'd otherwise had to like buy yourself or find through exploration that ends up becoming almost like game altering. I think Mankind Divided, for example, I don't really think that I saw an affordable suppressor, like silent suppressor, which is potentially game altering. I mean, if you think about it, just a couple of headshots with no one like seeing you, challenging as a game as it is, okay, if you have a silencer but that you could like found for free, that you didn't have to buy or spend any credits on, can potentially like make the game a lot easier in a lot of different ways. I remember finding a silent suppressor somewhere in somebody's safe. Timing, you know, it feels like you're just moving chess pieces across a board through distractions and infiltrations and hacking and things like that. By the way, if you're into Watch Dogs or Hitman, please check out Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Things like this become extremely gameplay altering, and it was all because of me being just extremely curious. They reward the curious type of person to just kind of go out of their way and to look for things that are probably out there. I like how it makes curious people who feel like they're always asking dumb questions or tinkering with a bunch of nonsense. You know, it kind of rewards our type of brains. Our brains are just wired a little bit different, especially Monster Hunter Wilds. That's another really good example. Another reason, I think this is probably like the main reason, is character customizations. I don't know about you guys, but like, to be honest, I don't think any genre does this specific thing better. Although you can have really good experiences with games without the character customers. I mean, Red Dead Redemption was a really good example of that. Giving you the freedom to create the character, I guess, of your dreams with the variety that there is, creating more immersive experiences for the player. Like whenever I see character customization options in general, I just kind of like steep a cup of tea and just like lucratively explore every possible detail that there is in the menu. I know that sounds like I can't be the only person who does this. Like this is just like, it's an obligation at this point. If you're an RPG enthusiast, you kind of have to. Okay, I remember doing this with Cyberpunk. Totally worth it. You know, like you don't know what kind of like faces and shapes that you're gonna get. I like seeing the possibilities. Like the faces can change so much depending on like the height of like a cheekbone or something. I think Bethesda does this perfectly, and honestly, I highly recommend to just embrace this impulse. Don't be in any rush. This is definitely something that's a part of the experience, not rushing with character customizations. Okay, to me, in-game consequences and achievements don't really feel as impactful if I don't have like a character that I can personally relate to. Reason number, I think it's 3, 4, who knows? I don't know. The unforgettable moments and replayability. Okay, chances are if you have like a gaming moment that sits in your heart as like a core memory, it's probably like most likely going to be from an RPG. It just is. I mean, the thrill of conquering solitude for the first time as a Stormcloak slicing off General Talius's head. Sometimes I'd like have to reload that part, like to see the different ways I can kill him, like different kill moves I'd got. Should I slice off his head this time? Should I go from behind him and stab him in the back in slow motion? Or maybe like the giant glitches, the spring freaking doing when you fly up in the air. Those moments. I think one of the most replayable games, in my opinion, other than like Skyrim, definitely Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy 14. There's always something new every single time I boot up Final Fantasy VII. Like I didn't notice there before. Or in GTA 4, and you wanted to see either outcome of killing Playboy or killing Dwayne. Who are you gonna kill? You know, who's gonna matter more? Like, you can explore the different possibilities and see the way that each character will treat you depending on how you treat them later on in the game, and can affect the rest of the outplay of the game. I think that's a very rewarding experience overall. Games in general that allow for multiple choice endings are always going to be unforgettable, especially when it comes to role-playing. These weren't just good stories that make you both feel and understand the consequences of your actions as a player solely for the rank up, but these were also, in my perspective, simulations that tested you playing the character. I mean, why would you do it if you were in the same situation? Aspects of the game like that make it worth coming back to. I mean, on a semi-related note, if you really think about every gaming story that you play or every mission you play kind of changes the way that you engage the rest of that game or like other games in the next story, even though you may be like very well assuming different roles and characters. If you think about it, you still kind of have that like learned experience too. I think this generally could apply to all games, but I think that I wanted to include this here because that the way you remember games in relation to other ones that you've already experienced helped you contextualize experiences, story to story, sound to character to setting, and so on and so forth. And another reason why that RPGs tend to MOG every single game: classes. I guess I don't just mean like, you know, the types of classes like in Battlefield, okay, like an engineer or like a, you know, a scout or something. No. I mean like I mean builds, okay, method builds, okay. I'm not really sure if any other game does method building and class building better than role-playing games, okay. I think like Skyrim will probably be the best example. You can't become good at everything, not at the same time. It requires you to kind of think about your resources in relation to the missions that you're playing and where you are in the game. It kind of gets to where you really need to think about like, I mean, you can't be good at two-handed but also like a mage at the same time at a certain point, but then also be very, very high ranked in sneak and alteration. You kind of need to do certain things or play the game in a very specific way. Allows for you to, at the very least, use these different skills in a related way, in a play style that can kind of grow certain skill trees at the same time to an extent. I'm kind of confusing myself, but I hope that kind of makes sense. Jack of all trades, master at none can only work, I guess, long term. In the meantime, it suffices to say for now, it's best if you really want to like be good at anything, focus or fixate on a specific kind of playstyle or tasks. For me in general, I'd like to like know what other kind of like method builds that people like to do. I typically stick with some kind of mage class, some like magical class. There's just something so fascinating about like possibilities of magic and things like that. And plus there's always like, feels like there's a degree of like mystery and obscurity and kind of strangeness. I really love it. So I always tend to go with this mage-esque build. So these unique skills that every single player adds creates a more engaging gameplay loop. So what I've noticed is that these unique skill sets, especially with MMORPGs, every single unique player ability kind of creates a more engaging and dynamic gameplay loop that enhances both your problem solving skills and that can deepen your bond with your teammates, right? Because like you all have like are playing different roles in the party. I really have made a lot of amazing friends and a lot of great memories playing MMORPGs. It's pretty unreal. Another thing that I think RPGs do exceedingly well compared to other genres, mini games within the games. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, drinking and winning bets, I guess in games where you can have the option to gamble and win consistently because like your ranks are just so damn high, and then your opponent gets so desperate that they'll like end up beating you up and like betting all of their money, and then like if you win, like they'll beat you up for it. Watching them wanting to fight you because or like cause trouble, it's kind of an odd ego boost, but still an ego boost. Seeing those like random brawls at the bar, like it's super fun. Sorry, I'm too good at this game. I'm not really sure if I would consider like lockpicking in Skyrim to be like a mini game either. It sounds weird, but I guess that's kind of a mini game, sure. Watching the worlds like kind of grow and change over time based on your decisions that you've made is the reason why. I mean, at least that's the reason why I play games. A lot of people play games to compete. Okay, that's cool, but come on now. That's not that fun, in my opinion, okay? Matter of fact, that's not fun at all. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, can you name a more dynamic game than, say, The Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption? No, you can't. Good try. Like, for example, in like Red Dead, all the characters have day and night cycles. They go places during the day, and they go back home when it turns nighttime. I guess same thing in Skyrim, but let's be honest, it's quite dated. Like The Witcher 3 is like, it's another level. Changing one thing in the environment, such as, for example, like disrupting an NPC's relationship, impacts the reputation. We need more like dynamic things, if I'm going to be honest. Like dynamic ways of life in the game. I guess on an unrelated note, have you ever like lured an NPC into the wilderness and like watched them get like torn apart by like a saber-toothed cat or like a hungry bear or something, or like a pack of wolves? Something about like this makes me like, it makes me sound cruel, but like kind of like to see what they do and like as they get torn to pieces, or like how they fight for their lives in like unique sets of coding. Like one of my favorite things to do in Skyrim is to like hire a follower and then like giving them like overpowered gear and like weapons and have them like complete a mission for me, like while I receive all the loot and the rewards as if like I'm the one who did all the hard work. It's like that is how you play a game. Like that's like an unrelated note. I'm sorry for sounding like kind of a crazy person, but it's so mean. So I notice one person's open world RPG experience is obviously going to be completely different from another person's game. Okay, no two games in Skyrim. Well, I know I keep using this as like an example. It's by far like some of the best example that I have. Okay, it'll never be the exact same as another person's player's experience. It's so random too. The type of shit that goes on in that game is so random. I want to live stream it constantly. The gaming world's archives, documents, and kind of like keeps records of the experiences And these experiences are yours. Dynamic living and breathing environments that change as you do. And that also change as you rank up as well in the game. I mean, cultists don't like randomly start hunting you down until you like actually start the Dragonborn questline. So like it gives you a little bit of room to kind of like fuck around with the mechanics and whatnot, and I don't know, kind of like prepare for the cultists to arrive. I guess that's not like true role playing. That's like cheating role playing. But like still, like the whole like infinite possibility things it's still there. And this is going to be the last, but absolutely not least reason why I love playing open world RPGs: brain nourishment. If you don't play RPGs because of this reason, I don't really know why you have the game installed on your console or PC. If you're not looking to nourish your freaking massage your brain cells, okay? That's the point. And the ambiance. So goddamn, oh man, freaking ambience. I guess the type of role playing that feels like you're reading a really good novel, settling down and taking a breather, enjoying the scenery, the music, the freaking the ambient, and the hard environmental work that the devs put into the gaming world. Some like games at 3 a.m. they just hit different. Okay, like they just do. I love playing it at 3 a.m. to be honest. Goodness, it's so good. The world is quiet. Time is like no longer a pressure. The conscious mind is quieted, and the subconscious mind can kind of like blur the barriers between like fantasy and imagination, emotion, thought. It's just you in the moment. And you know, I love playing role-playing games late at night especially when I'm super sleepy. No other game hits harder. That's just my opinion, however. It actually, you know, I actually remember like single player games or like the time I spent the most like sleepy role playing game. I actually fell asleep like fucking playing like a bunch of games, like right here at my desk, just like freaking dozing off. And I'm okay. I try to go to bed. I love the feeling of being sleepy. I just I don't know what it is. It's so good. It's so cozy. Anyways, these are just like my thoughts and opinions. I have been gone for a while because I've been writing a lot of script for videos a lot like this one, and I really enjoy writing games, script for games, for gaming videos like this. And I know this is like a very strange kind of video for, like, I guess if you look at the track record for my channel, I archived my videos. Take a look at my playlists and look at my old videos, my old let's plays. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new, just don't be afraid to give a thumbs up and leave a comment and, you know, subscribe. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. And I will game with you all later.